Okay, question 11 starts with a simultaneous equations question. So using substitution is the best idea for this one. So we're going to replace x with the value 3. So that means we would get 2 times 3 minus 3y plus 9 equals 0. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 3y plus 9 equals 0. Simplify that, so 6 plus 9 is 15. Minus 3y equals 0. Negative 3y equals negative 15. Divide by negative 3, so y equals 5. So just remember that you should state both of your answers. So y equals 5 and x equals 3 are your two answers. Okay, moving on to the second one. Think about whether it makes sense to use substitution or elimination. Elimination would be best for this one because, as you can see, we have both a 1y for each equation. So negative 1y and positive 1y. Alright, think about how you will eliminate the y's. Do you need to add them or do you need to subtract them? If they're opposite signs, then you need to add the equations. 2x plus 3x is 5x. Negative y plus y is 0. Negative 4 plus negative 1. Think about it. Negative 4 plus negative 1. So negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. 0 plus 0 is 0. And then solve that equation. So add 5. 5x equals 5. X equals 1. Please don't stop there. You've only half solved it. You've only found x. You must find y as well. So then you substitute that into one of the equations. If I put it into the first one, 2x minus y minus 4 equals 0. So where I see x, I put a 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Minus y minus 4 equals 0. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Add the 2. And divide by negative 1, so y equals negative 2. So my answer there is x equals 1, y equals negative 2. Alright, moving on to B. Okay, on to surds. Remember that when you square a bracket, you have root 3 minus 2 multiplied by itself. Please don't try and take a shortcut and make a mistake. Root 3, so everything in the first bracket has to be multiplied by everything in the second bracket. That means root 3 times root 3 is 3. Root 3 times negative 2 is negative 2 root 3. Negative 2 times by root 3 is negative 2 root 3. And negative 2 times by negative 2 is positive 4. Okay, simplifying like terms, 3 plus 4 is 7. Negative 2 root 3 minus 2 root 3 is negative 4 root 3. 2 marks for that. 1 mark for the expansion, 1 mark for your answer. Okay, we're moving on to trig again. Now in this question we have a side and its opposite angle, another side and its opposite angle. So therefore we will be using the sine rule. Start with what you're finding. We're trying to find x. So sine x over 12.1 equals sine 64 degrees 19 over 14.8. So that means we have sine x equals sine 64 degrees 19 over 14.8 multiplied by 12.1. And when you do that on your calculator, remembering it's an angle, so press shift, then x should equal 47 degrees and 28 minutes to the nearest minute. Alright, and I think that was 2 marks. Okay, question D, probability. You must read the question carefully. Alright, a simple thing like filling in a table and people were making mistakes. So 2 normal dice are tossed and their uppermost numbers are multiplied. Copy and complete the table below showing all possible outcomes. Alright, so you need to multiply and write the result. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, and so on. Okay, I'm just going to pause this and complete that. Alright, there's our completed table. So that was 2 marks, just for simply doing that. Part 2, find the probability of achieving a number greater than 24. Okay, just have a look how many there are. Greater than 24 does not include 24, so there is 25, 30, 30, and 36. So our probability should be 4 out of 36 possibilities, and when you simplify that, you get 1 out of 9. Alright, question D was the graphing question. Draw sketches of the following showing all important features. Okay, so our first one is the graph of y equals 3. So think about where on your graph y equals 3. Okay, so this is your y-axis, the vertical axis. 3 would be somewhere around here. So you mark 3 and you draw a line going through that. Alright, that is your line y equals 3. 1 mark for that. The next one is a straight line. You may need to do some rearranging here or find the x and y intercepts. Okay, so if we do the x and y intercepts, let's just quickly do that. The x-intercept, we let y equal 0, so we will have 2x minus 0 minus 6 equals 0. 2x equals 6, so x equals 3. That's your x-intercept, sorry. Your y-intercept, let x equal 0, so negative 3y minus 6 equals 0. Negative 3y equals 6, and y equals negative 2. That's your y-intercept. So mark those 2 positions on your number plane. X is at 3, y is at negative 2. Write those values in and draw your line going through those 2 values. Okay, there's your graph. 2 marks for that one, 1 for each intercept. And the last one is a cubic curve, remembering that the negative means it's flipped around, and the 2 means it's narrower than an x cubed. So we should know that x cubed looks like this, therefore flipping it around with the negative means it will be looking like this. Okay, now you should always put at least 1 point on that curve. So if I was to substitute a value into that equation, let's say I chose x equals 2, then I would do 2 cubed is 8, 8 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 16, so when I have 2, I have negative 16, and I should put a value on that line. Alright? If you didn't do that, we still gave you the mark if you had the correct curve. But in future, that's what you should do. Okay, that's the end of question 11.